Welcome, everybody, to the episode 6 of Connection Interruption podcast. It's another Wednesday. We got another good show for you guys. I don't know if we can top last week's, but as always, tonight's podcast is sponsored by Frisch's Big Boy. Shout out to them. Thank you, Frisch's. Check out their menu for breakfast, lunch, and dinner at frisch's.com. And they do deliver DoorDash. So, if you just want to chill at home and continue that gaming, the grind, trying to get that extra level, just open up that DoorDash app and gets you some Frisch's. Just huge shout out to Frisch's Big Boy once again. I'll introduce myself. I am Mark, better known as Swing Live. And I am also with two other co-hosts tonight, Ryan and Tay. I'll let them introduce themselves. They want to. There we go.
He always makes me go first. What's up, y'all? It's your boy DJ Tay Boogie, aka TB Clutch, aka Forget Your Defense because you can't beat me in man. But we're just gonna stop it right there because I've been on the road this week. But So Brian, where you at, man?
What up? What's happening, boys? I was taking my sweet time getting in. I was just making sure we were live everywhere. We should be good.
We might having a little bit of connection interruption problems right now.
I mean,
I don't see us on.
It does happen.
Twitch.
Interesting.
Channel. Keep refreshing.
I mean, it's showing that we're there.
Okay. Might be on my end.
It says on my end that we are live from the studio, so I'm gonna try to hop in.
Yeah, I see that we're live from the studio, but I don't know if you can pull it up on Twitch itself. It could be a Twitch problem too.
Could be a Twitch problem. Yeah, I don't see us on Twitch either. You are correct.
Hey, Twitch got one job. When it's showtime, they got one job.
One job. That's right. Yeah, we one job.
It actually happens a lot more than you expect. Like, it happens quite a bit that, like, people have problems viewing streams and people have trouble going live. It's like, what are you doing? Like you upload one line of code and everything's gone. But should we just continue or should we I
mean, I'm gonna see if we're live on Facebook and see if that's a thing.
Man, shout out to the people over at YouTube. They holding us down.
See if YouTube is live, Facebook is live, so Twitch is creating the issue here.
Okay.
So I mean, I say we just keep
going.
Let's keep rolling and I'll retweet. I'll hit the Twitter sphere right now and get out there that we're at the YouTube channel and at Facebook. So if you want to get started, Mark, I will hit socials.
Alrighty. Well, we'll just continue the beginning of the show as usual with what we are all playing. And for me, it's just kind of been Rocket League. I really haven't streamed much on my personal channel besides just like a little podcast me and my friends do. And the King's Hammer stuff. I'm hoping to stream some more. Just been working too much. And also with my free time, me and my buddy actually built a cryptocurrency miner. Took a little while. But that thing is up and running and running up the electric bill. So, that's all good to go. So hopefully I can finish some games.
How high is your electric bill right about now?
It really doesn't up it that much. Probably like $50 more, but it pays for itself eventually.
Gotcha.
But it does cause a lot of heat. That is the one thing. So have it running in the basement so it's nice and cool down there, and it doesn't. That kind of helps it out. But if you had that in like your living room, you sweat. You are sweating full time. But so Rocket League. But I guess I could talk about some games I do want to play. And I'm sure we'll be talking about them later in the podcast. But on my radar was Resident Evil Village. But I think I'm just gonna wait until October because I like to play scary games like when it's October. And at this point, I'm already so far behind on the masses of playing it. I might as well just wait. And then Biomutant is also on my radar, which I don't know if I'm gonna get it or not. So I might just play Rocket League and Counter-Strike for a bit and just kind of chill there. What about you, Tay? What have you been playing?
I've been on the road this week. Like, I've really been on the road. I've been playing Madden, of course. Like, I gotta get my practice up. My offense has been a little shaky. My run game is strong. My passing, I definitely got to work on that. But my defense, man, woo, Yeah, I had a couple people really upset this week because
So you're playing Ultimate Team?
No. I'm jumping online and taking numbers and whooping behind. So that like
Right.
I haven't touched my ultimate team yet or my players.
Okay.
So besides Madden, I've been playing the show 21. I really got to practice some more because I've never lost in baseball, but I almost lost this week. It was scary. I almost got caught in the pickle this week. If people don't know what a pickle is in baseball, we'll need y'all to Google that. Not you guys, but yeah. And what else was I playing this week? I went and played the Tony Hawk Pro Skater. So
very nice. Is it any good?
If you play the old Tony Hawks and you play this one, I think with this one they just put all of them together. And
you're talking about Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, or are you talking about the 1 and 2 like remaster?
I got the 1 and 2 remaster too, but the 5 I feel is like all of them just put together with dope graphics.
All right, cool. Oh, let's see. What am I playing? I'm still sucked into Pac-Man 99. It's not my fault. Like anytime you take a game that I already love and put it in battle royale mode, like I'm gonna be sucked in.
Right.
And then still been playing a little bit of Cozy Grove, trying to move on to some other stuff, but I mean, most of my time spent with Pac-Man 99. I really do want to play some Pokemon Snap, but I haven't really jumped into it yet. But I've got it. It's downloaded. You know, it's ready to go here on the Switch. I mean, the Switch is right here with me.
I feel like with Pokemon Snap, I would get bored really quickly.
Yeah.
Am I wrong by saying that? Like, I don't get the premise of the game other than just like taking pictures of Pokemon.
That's it. That is actually the premise of the game. That's where
it sounds fun, but I feel like that should just be in the regular.
It could get really old really fast for people, I would guess. Like, I'm interested to see how much of my time like it actually takes, because I could go either way on it. I played it back in the day, like on N64, the original one. And I spent some quality time with it. I did, and I'll blame our guest last week. I re-downloaded Overwatch.
You're a brave man. I couldn't do it.
I'm gonna blame Kylie from NKU. Like, I downloaded it on Switch because I had it on Switch. I have it on PC and Xbox as well, but I got it on Switch when it came to Switch just to see how the Switch could handle it.
Right. How does it handle it?
It's
not well, I'm assuming.
In handheld mode, no. But in docked mode, it seems fine.
That's interesting because like I don't. Do you have Mortal Kombat on the Switch?
I do actually.
I played that last weekend or 2 weekends ago for the first time on the Switch, and I was like, "Yeesh, this is kind of rough." Like, it looks like, I assume, like maybe like an Xbox 360, which is fine because it is a tablet or whatever.
Right.
But I just don't know, like, if it's gonna look like that, why do they push for it?
I think
like, it plays okay.
Just, the gameplay is fine, so I think that's ultimately like what you're looking at. I mean, Tay, you can chime in because you play a decent amount on your Switch too. But like, when you're playing, like when I'm playing Switch personally, like I'm not looking for great graphic fidelity, right? Like I'm looking for gameplay. If I want my graphics to be hot, I'm on my PS5 or my PC or my Xbox.
Yeah, like when I play it, I don't look so much for us the graphics. It's just the game. Like, because when you hook it up to the dock, it looks a little bit different. The gameplay is a little bit better, but if it's one of my favorite games that I like to play. But I have a confession. I've been neglecting my baby. You see, she's still
no. No, I downloaded an indie game because it was on sale for like less than $1 last week too, and it's called Old Man's Journey which I thought was kind of appropriate for us, Tay. So,
Really, the slugs of fire. Wow.
I'll throw it out there.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I mean, it looks like it's kind of a story driven game. I haven't played a whole lot of it yet. But graphically, it's like one of those games that it's hand drawn. It looks like, and I'm kind of into that. Like, I really like Bravely Default because of that. So, that's one that I'm hoping that I can get into and kind of get some more time with.
Okay.
But
so, go ahead.
No, I was about to say little side note. Ryan, I can get you for the old man joke. I got you.
I mean, we're roughly the same age, so it's one of those things like we can go with that.
So talking about Pokemon Snap, we had that as one of our discussion points for this podcast, and like you said, you haven't touched it at all.
No, like I downloaded it and I turned it on and was getting ready to get started the one night, and I was like, man, I don't really want to get into this until I have a lot of time to play.
What was the previous Pokemon game that came out for this week? What was that?
There was Sword and Shield.
Okay, that's the one.
That are the more traditional Pokemon games.
See, I like those. Did you play Sword and Shield?
I did. I'm not very good at Pokemon games, like the traditional ones, if I'm being completely honest. I get wrapped up like anywhere, and this is just me in general, any game that's semi-open world or completely open world, you can just guarantee I'm never finishing it.
Gotcha.
It took me 3 years, I want to say, to beat Batman Arkham Asylum, like the first one, and it wasn't nearly as open world as the other ones, right? Like, so, and Spider-Man I'm having the same issue with on PlayStation.
Why?
Spider-Man is such a good game.
It's the truth. I'm gonna need you to go stand in the corner for being childish. I'm gonna need you to finish that game.
I mean, it's a great game. Like, I love those games, but I get distracted. Like, I spent more time in Spider-Man trying to find different landmarks in New York.
That's fine. That's
like
fine.
I
do that.
Hey,
you can do that, but you still got to beat the game. You know what I mean? You still got to beat it.
Yeah, I understand. But like, I literally, and anytime that my 4-year-old sees me playing Spider-Man, I might as well just hand him the controller.
Right.
Like if he's like if it's superhero related, like he's playing at age 4, he's playing the Marvel Avengers game right now, like on his own. And the only struggle that he's having is like there's missions where you have to read a decent amount, and obviously at 4 he's kind of struggling through some of that stuff. But I mean, he's really digging it.
I've not even seen anything on that game. I heard about it. I'm like, and then I didn't.
Yeah, most people have been complaining about it, like that it's not very good, and there are some flaws in it for sure.
What, it's about the Avengers?
Yeah. I mean, like the armor, like how you can upgrade your armor and stuff, and it doesn't do anything. You pull that out, and I swear to you, I'm coming to your house. He picked up the collector's edition just to be mean to me. He got a deal.
Hold on, but this is crazy.
Oh no, you better not have that Cap statue out too.
No, I bought the Walmart edition with the patches.
Yeah, I mean the statue that comes with the collector's edition is amazing.
You bought the collector's edition and the Walmart one just for the patches?
No. See, this thing. I was on a budget, so I bought the Walmart edition first because it had the patches, and then I went to half price books to find stuff, like posters and stuff to hang up on the wall, and somebody traded it in, and I was like, hey, is the game in there? It's like the game, everything's in there. And they had it on sale for $40. They did not know what they had their hands on. Because if you
the statue alone is worth well more than that.
Yeah. Wow.
So I might do a package deal and sell it to Ryan.
Yeah. So I'm guilty though too, Mark, of buying multiple games on multiple consoles at times. But that's one of the reasons. That's one of the reasons why, though, when you guys kind of bust me up for, and Tay was doing it before the show for not buying games at full price. You know, like as we're getting ready, he's like, "Oh man, you're cheap," and it's like, "Yes, I am," because I will buy. Like, I have FIFA on PC, I have it on Xbox, I have, you know, like I buy it on multiple consoles, and that's what it kind of boils down to is like we just. Like if I'm not getting it brand new and I'm not focused on it, like I will just get it on whatever.
The only game I've ever done that, like bought it on multiple consoles, had to be Madden.
Oh, I do that every year.
Yeah,
like that's a given. You can just take that to the bank, but I will not pay full price. Like I hold out on that. Every year I hold out, and I usually get that. I would say sometimes I buy it on Black Friday where it's a little bit cheaper. Other times I buy it when it's like super cheap, like $20. But I get it. I buy it on one console full price.
Yeah, like I have to get it every year in August because that's around my birthday. So it's like, yeah. I never buy the GOAT edition or nothing like that. I just get the regular.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I have bought like games through the multiple consoles or bought like the same game just for different exclusive stuff that you get. But I mean, it's usually multiplayer games, so I can like flex, like, oh, I got the best ship or I got this or that. That's only single player, right? The Marvel game?
No, it has some online multiplayer.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never looked into that game whatsoever. Did not catch my attention.
Yeah.
You would not regret that purchase. Go ahead and get it.
Really? I mean, I'm going to tell Mark not to get it.
Hater.
And I like it. No, like I said, I like it. I don't love it. Parker loves it because he can go as Hulk and just break everything.
Mm-hmm.
But like the story is actually better. Like the first couple chapters is really good, and then it really bogs down. Like it just slows down. It comes to like a snail's pace. And the armor thing drives me insane. Like if you're going to give me a new piece of armor to add to the collection, and you're going to put something like, oh, here, this armor has more buffs than the previous one, make it look different. Give me something. Like, don't just tell me to put it on my arm and then my arm doesn't change. Like I want something different there.
Right.
That's probably my biggest pet peeve with that game.
Well, I'll let you borrow one of mine so you could test it out. So if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. There you go.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. You'll have to turn on your PlayStation, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not even in this building.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't have any consoles in here just because I just don't use them anymore. I mean, it's sad, but I should just sell them, honestly. But
well, you graduated to PC, and your PC is pretty hefty, so.
Yeah, I mean, but I've been in, like, PC, like, ever since 2016, but I just kept console around for certain games or exclusiveness and stuff like that, but I'm kind of just done with all that now. I'm just like, like, oh, there's one new game that came out that we talked about a couple weeks ago. It's like a really hard PlayStation game that I can't remember the name of. But that's like PlayStation only. I'm like, it'll be on PC in a year or two. I can wait. So
yeah, and they have been doing that a little bit more as of late, like moving stuff over. Well, we were just talking Days Gone. You know, Days Gone hit PC, and I saw somebody the other day playing Horizon Zero Dawn on PC and got super confused initially because the Xbox controller buttons were showing up on the screen. I was kind of messing with my brain a little bit because they were using an Xbox controller while playing.
And then Uncharted 4 is coming to PC.
That one really surprises me.
Right? That's like their baby.
Yeah, I think they realize there's an untapped market. There's people that aren't buying consoles, like PC, PC gamers are out there just hanging onto their PC. And for me, I'm definitely a console gamer first, I think.
Well, I just want to say for the people that are buying consoles, because you do a player a favor and let me get one PS5 and one Xbox. That's it. That's all I want.
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta find one, right? Like we talk about that all the time. Like I had somebody get really upset with me the other day. They're like, "You mean you got both?" And I'm like, "Well, yeah, and I'm gonna play both too. Like it's not like
Right.
I'm not playing them." Um, the interesting part for me is that I play more on my Switch
Anything. Yeah.
than anything, and that's kind of odd for me because I know that I have the opportunity to play on really good systems and on a nice PC, but my Switch is just so convenient and I can just take it wherever.
I was about to
Right.
say that because when I went to Vegas, I was in the airport. I was in a room where I was just wanting to chill. Yeah, the baby was there. I didn't want to
Right.
pack up a PS4. Or nothing.
See, the problem with me is like I always like want to play like a game. Like if I'm like on my Switch, I'm like somewhere, I'm like, man, I want to play this game, but I also wish I was streaming right now. Like sometimes I'm just like, man, I don't want to like. So like, let's say Breath of the Wild. If I like start playing for like an hour before bed every time, and then I come on stream and it's like there's large gaps between of where I have been. You know what I mean? But that has always been one issue for me. Is just wanting to make content out of the games that I'm playing.
Right. Yeah, I have my Switch right now. The dock for my Switch is plugged into my PC, so I can do that if I choose to. But most of my Switch playing is honestly happening on the road, or I don't want to say on the road because I'm always driving, but not at home. I guess would be the best way to put it. I'm not going down to 275 holding the Switch and driving.
Hey, I was about to say you snitching on yourself.
Yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But
He drives a Tesla. It's fine.
Yeah. I wish. But yeah, there's definite opportunities like to play the Switch in more locations than just home. So for me, that's where most of my time is.
Gotcha. And then today, Xbox and I guess technically Bethesda announced that they're having their game showcase June 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard. Did you guys catch that?
Yeah, luckily for me, my lunch break is usually around 1, so that's good. Like they tend to hit me in those spots, right? Like,
right.
Like Sony has one tomorrow. I think I saw there's a
really?
state of play tomorrow afternoon.
I feel like the last 2 weeks I've just been like not in the gaming scene like whatsoever. I have no idea. Like I used to watch Twitch and stuff, and like there's drama going down. I don't know what's going on, and games are announcing stuff. Next thing I know, Biomutant's out, which we'll talk about. I'm just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. We're back to semi-normal, right? Like E3 coming up. All of a sudden, we go from everything slowed down during the pandemic, and now we're right back at it.
And then now everything's like coming out all at once. I feel like.
Yeah. So the state of play is tomorrow for Horizon Forbidden West, 9 a.m. Pacific time. So that is noon our time, right?
Yeah, about noon.
Yeah, so noon our time tomorrow. I mean, I loved Horizon, so I'm kind of ready to see what this one looks like.
I did not like Horizon. I don't really know why. I just know that when I was streaming it, all of a sudden I was just like, yeah, I'm like bored. I'm not really having that fun. And my chat was like, just don't play it. And I was like, all right, yeah, you guys are right. And I was like, I want to give it another chance. But I was just, I don't know. It might have just been my mindset. You know, maybe I just wasn't feeling games that day or something. But I just like was playing for like, 3 or 4 hours. And I was just like, nah, like it just wasn't it. I wasn't doing it for me for whatever reason. It's a beautiful game, though.
I would say initially I got kind of confused with it. And I mean, this may say something about my level of intelligence or lack thereof as well. But like the technology and the no tech, like the mixture of the two. Tay, did you play it?
No, I'm doing one of Mark's moves. I'm Googling right now.
Googling it. Yeah. But there's like you have like a bow and arrow, and then there's some weird tech that like, and you're fighting against these big like tech giant monster type things. And just the mixture of no tech and tech was weird for me at first, but then after I got over that, I was fine.
I really like that idea, and I really love the art and stuff. I think it was just the gameplay and story. And I think like if I'm gonna play a single player game, story is huge for me. And I'm kind of the same way with movies, which is kind of hinting towards the end of tonight's podcast. But um but so like I think just the story, I was just like, man, like I don't care about this dude that just died, or I don't care about this person. It's like, you know what I mean? I hate that when it's like a big moment. It's like, oh no, Gary's dead. I'm just like,
And you didn't.
cares?
Well, yeah. So it's, and I mean, we're kind of heading into spoiler territory, but that game's been out for so long. I think it's safe, right?
Sure. I mean, I don't care at this
But
point.
like someone does die in that game that they want you to feel bad about.
Yeah.
Like they want you to feel bad about it, and you're like, and I was the same way. I was like, I had no emotional attachment to that character whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like
Now-
the music's real intense and sad.
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah, and then you're like,
can I skip through this? Like,
yeah.
this guy die faster? Like,
Now-
what's going on here?
On the other hand, the original Last of Us game, there's a scene at the beginning of that game where
Yes.
somebody dies, and no joke, like straight up tears.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was bawling.
I love the Last of Us games. Reason I have a PlayStation, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Both of them. First one, second one, knocked them out of the park. Love them.
It was crazy. Like, so I promised myself if Ryan gets done playing Pac-Man, I'm gonna venture over into those type games. No, but like
I may never be done playing Pac-Man. Tay, it's.
I'm just saying, but like if a game doesn't have a good storyline, like the last good storyline that I really got drawn into was Final Fantasy. So like if it doesn't have a good storyline, I'm not interested in the game. Like I like
Right.
Uncharted, like different games like that. Like it has to have a dope storyline. Or I
Yeah,
just won't play it.
I get that.
Like I still got games in plastic right now.
Hey,
I
doggo.
haven't touched.
She wanted to be on the podcast.
She want to be on the
Yeah.
pod. Hey, puppy.
Oh no, she's grabbing the squeaky ball.
Oh, here we go.
Don't do it. But anyway, interesting. And I feel like to transfer into Biomutant, I kind of fear I would be the same way that it was with like how Tay was talking about the storyline and how we were all talking about that, where the game looks nice visually, like the graphics good, the world looks pretty, but I feel like it'll be another one of those games where the quests are repetitive, the story is just meh, and like the gameplay is like enough to just keep you interested.
Yeah, I mean, and if you look at the reviews so far, they're a mixed bag, right? Like,
Yeah, but the ones that are saying no, so like I mainly look on Steam just because like those are just you can go directly to the gamers, you know what I mean? The people, you can see how many hours they've played into it, and kind of just gives you an idea if it's biased or it's like legit, and you can kind of see if they've reviewed other games, stuff like that. So, and it is mixed on Steam, and the people who are saying no, like thumbs down, are saying like this isn't a don't buy it. This is a neutral review. Like there's no like, this game's just meh. There's no like side hand review. So like I would say that they're not like mixed or negative, but I wouldn't say they're positive. They're just good reviews, I guess.
So is it one of those bad if you want it type? Like,
Yeah, it's not like get this game, but like, hey, if you think this game looks fun and you wanted to get it, at least get it. But
gotcha.
so GameSpot, their review, like the title of the review is Biomutant Review, a Flawed Mutation.
Wow.
oof,
Like,
oof.
like, so then you're like, okay, so how flawed is it? And they gave it a 6.
6 out of what? 10?
10. Yeah, 6 out of 10. Like the good, they said it's gorgeous and colorful open world. And it differs from most post-apocalyptic settings. The combat is fun in short bursts, especially when using the psi powers and biogenetics. The crafting system lets you make some truly bizarre weapons. The story lacks character, resulting in your choices feeling hollow. Mission design is dull, and the world eaters are anticlimactic, and it's easy to fall into a repetitive routine during combat. That's Richard Wakeling at Richard Wakeling on Twitter. If you're not following him, give him a follow.
Check that out right now. But I heard the same thing in the Steam reviews: repetitiveness and poor writing.
It still looks so good, and like, I bet you there's a ton of people that are buying it because they're jonesing for something new to play.
Yeah, that's
like
where I'm at.
Like it, well, and that's what we were almost at with was it Outlanders? Like we thought, okay, maybe because we're looking for a looter shooter, that might be one to hop in and play. And then I played it like maybe 3 or 4 times and kind of got bored of it. But Biomutant looks like it's a little bit different. Something, and how much longer do I have to hold out for Ratchet and Clank?
As long as I have to hold out for Grand Theft Auto.
Well, no, not as long as you're holding out for that.
You are holding.
You're
in a long.
You're
haul.
in for a long haul for sure. I think you think that we're saying it to be mean at this point, but really,
you are.
I mean, yeah, kind of a little bit. But
you're not even going to hear about that game this year.
You don't think they'll be like, yeah, we're working on it. We're aware that you all want it. You don't think
if Tay's going to get anything this year, it's going to be Rockstar, a splash screen of just the logo, GTA 6. That's all you're going to get.
When they did
the logo,
when they did 5,
you're
they didn't
2 years out.
I hope we're not 2 years out. Yeah,
you're probably 2.5.
Yeah, man.
Not counting delays.
I think until we have PS5s and Xbox Series X's in more households, they're not even thinking about it.
I don't know. I don't think Rockstar is concerned about that because they're just like, we'll just throw it on the next 5 consoles that come out anyway. We'll get our bag, and they're gonna make GTA Online better. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if they try to come out with like a GTA role play because I know they're like, this is like our game and this is like an untapped thing we're not doing. So they might even try to do that. But which honestly, like, how battle royales were so big, like, I don't know, like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
What if like role playing games like GTR role play and like other things like that just like blew up? I could see that happening.
It's possible, I guess. Like,
I mean, I just know they're already trying to make like a Red Dead 2 RP server and stuff like that. I know I've talked about that and stuff, but
yeah.
I mean, there's gonna be something. I feel like every couple of years there's like something that just takes off, like it's booming. Like Fall Guys, that was taking off until Among Us came along.
Yeah, I mean, and the games come in phases, right? Like, I think a lot of people are just looking for something that's story driven. We've been playing a lot of online multiplayer stuff, and there's Street Fighter 6.
Yes. Can't wait.
And people are looking, as we're starting to kind of get back to the norm of like competitive gaming, like head to head. Like I think that's gonna take off. I think we're gonna see a lot of really, really solid fighting games moving forward. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think we're gonna see a boost in couch co-op.
Yes.
And RPGs. I think you're probably right there.
But with the fighting games, I just hope they bring back some type of boxing, like Fight Night somewhere.
Ready to Rumble round 3. Make it happen.
That would be dope. That would be dope.
Are the UFC games not scratching your itch enough?
No. Like I like boxing. Like the UFC is cool, but I like going pound for pound with the hands. It's a total different feel.
Speaking of boxing, who do you think's gonna win that Paul Mayweather fight?
Did you really just ask me that question?
Yeah,
I mean, we're talking about boxing. You might
well, to the weight difference is kind of scary. You know,
A height difference.
Yeah, the height difference too. But one lucky punch in boxing, and it could be lights out. But you have to understand Mayweather's boxing IQ.
I know,
Like,
and I totally understand that. But
so
I'm just anyway.
not like in order for him to lose, it's gonna have to be like you're gonna have to hurt him. It's gonna have to be that punch, and when you hit him, you're gonna have to follow up. You can't let up.
I think he's just gonna have to close the distance and just try to get real close up to Mayweather and just kind of throw in some like close like jabs and like hooks essentially. But I don't know. So you're saying Mayweather, huh?
Yeah, I gotta go with Mayweather on this.
I kind of want to go with Paul just because I feel like the storyline is there. I feel like you know what I mean. The
If
fighter
Paul wins, you get a second fight, right? Because Mayweather's going to want another
Well,
chance to get back.
He won't be flawless anymore. Like he won't be undefeated. Like you took that loss.
And did you guys know that NBA 2K21 is free on Epic Games?
Yes, we were actually talking about that earlier tonight because I told Tay to create an account because he hasn't gotten his PC yet. You know, because we've been talking about Tay building this monster PC or buying one, right?
Right.
I was trying to tell him, like, just go set up an Epic Games account so you can at least get the free games into your library while you're waiting to get that build. I'd suggest that for anybody, actually.
Yeah, that was a distraction. Sorry about that.
All good.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like the storyline's there, like you're saying, like being that boxer, the only boxer to be 50-0, and then he pushed his luck going up against that young YouTuber who barely knows how to fight. Or barely has that much experience fighting, I should say. And just that's it. You're 50-1 now, and you could have just retired at 50-0, and you would have been a legend. I mean, he would still be a legend if he lost, but it's not as big, in my opinion.
No. If he loses by knockout,
you think that he's going to let him get close enough to knock him out?
You just never know. I mean, he's old. He's
but he's he's still fast, right? Like
it is. But did you see when he fought Sugar Shane? Sugar Shane Muslim, and Sugar Shane hurt him.
Yeah, he hurt him.
But Sugar Shane didn't follow up.
No.
I think if you see Mayweather stumble after getting hit like that, I think they're gonna try to finish him this time.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't hold off.
I mean, in my opinion, we could even talk about the McGregor fight. I mean, he was surprised with McGregor, right? I don't think he was really prepared, and I feel like he's kind of going about this the same way. And I think he probably needs to be more prepared because this Paul is taller and bigger and has less to lose,
for sure.
Anyway,
but yeah,
that's my
boxing. Tay needs a boxing game. We knew that. Going in, like we need a new fight night or a new Ready to Rumble or something.
Well,
or you get that PC and a VR headset and you could play that VR boxing game and really get your workout in.
Is that the Creed is really cool if you haven't played that one.
I think that's the one where like it flashes if you get hit in the face.
Yeah.
Hey, do you see my face here? Mm-hmm. I'm not trying to be in the ER.
ER? What do you do? Hit yourself?
Right. I'm cutting myself, busting my lip.
You don't want to play in virtual reality?
Yeah.
You're afraid to.
If you really want to get a workout, you hold the controllers into dumbbells. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, there you go.
This game's going.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if I so happen to end up in an ER, it's because these two influenced me. I'm just saying.
I mean,
get my lawyer on the phone.
Right? We are not liable for anything that Tay does to play a video game and gets injured. Disclaimer. There's our disclaimer.
Man, speaking of freebies, because we were talking about that earlier when you said the division was going to be free.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I think that's. I love the division. I love it. Like, but to make it free and just and Ryan was talking about just doing add-ons. I think that will suck. Do not turn that into Fortnite.
Fortnite. What do you mean? Like
Yeah,
skin?
well, yeah, because it looks like what they're gonna do is they're gonna allow you to buy additional skins and packs and stuff to
That's
customize your.
fine.
Yeah, I
in
think
my
so
opinion.
too. But Tay is on the other side of the fence on this one.
Why do you not like things like Fortnite skins and stuff like that?
Like, kind of like Grand Theft, right? It's like you got the
Mhm.
online and it keeps expanding. That's cool. But when you got a game like Division, like Division is hardcore thug on a corner type, and then you want to turn it into Steve Urkel. No, like leave it the way it is. Like
Well, I
don't
think
touch it.
that's just an issue with how crazy they get with this game. Now, if they keep it, military kind of look, like keep it like, oh, it's not like Call of Duty where you have the guy running around dressed in all rainbows or pot leaves. You know what I mean? Like, I think as long as they keep it realistic, that's fine. I think I'm excited because I love the first one. I didn't get the second one because it's like, I don't know. Like I just waited on it because none of my friends got the first one, so it's kind of hard to it's hard to play that game by yourself. And the second one apparently wasn't as good from what I hear from most people. And I think it being free helps a lot because I really like the idea of shooter MMOs. So yeah, it being free, I think, really can expand the player base, and I think that's what the game was missing. But we'll see. But I'm super excited for the Division 3. I don't know what they're gonna call it yet, but whatever the next one is,
What city do you think it's gonna be in?
California.
You think so? You think it'll be out like San Francisco or LA?
Yeah, they're gonna like they went New York and they did DC. They're probably gonna head straight west. It'd be
Yeah, I
cool
think
if
you're
they did
probably
like
right.
something weird though, like Dallas or something.
Why does Texas have to be weird?
Well, I'm just saying weird as far as like if you think about video games and what cities they choose, it's always like New York, DC, San Francisco, San Diego. It's like, it's never something just like super weird, like Cincinnati, you know what I mean? Like
Hey,
imagine
that'd be dope if they did it here.
that would be super cool. But like
Especially with all
it'd
the
be
new
weird.
architecture and stuff in the
Yeah,
the downtown
exactly.
area.
It'd be so cool. But yeah.
So
So
we are live on Twitch right now, just in case you're.
finally
Hey,
Yeah,
so all my Twitch people, welcome.
yeah. Let's hope they hop in. But it looked like Game Day was hosting someone, and it created an issue there. So as soon as that person was no longer being hosted, it popped us through. So
well, it's weird
hopefully,
because I wasn't being hosted in the beginning for whatever reason, but I don't see it yet. But we're on YouTube, so we're
yeah.
human. Now Tay, I see the DJI drone in the background. How often do you use that thing? I've always
Ha
wondered.
ha. Hey, see, look. Stay out of my background. So no. Actually,
KRK speakers. He's got all those
Look.
pops hiding back there.
Actually, I just got the Phantom. The one I actually use is behind that one. It's the Phantom 3. And I have 3DR Phantom. So like I usually do aerial shots, taking pictures of the city. And I'm not the racer
cool.
type. So it's more so for photo ops, movies, videos. I actually have an aerial view of a game day office at the edit. So yeah.
Cool.
Very cool.
I want to get a quadcopter or a racing journal. So
One of those FPV drones.
yes. So like I want to get into the racing aspect of it, but right now I'm just more so video, photos, and like if people need aerial shots instead of renting a helicopter, call me.
Yeah. At
Plug,
DJ
plug.
Tay Boogie on Twitter.
Right.
Reach out. Yeah, we're all about the tech, right? So we always mix up the show. If you're watching, you're just joining us. We'll talk games, we'll talk music, we'll talk movies, we'll talk tech. So, Mark, what you said that you had seen a good flick recently. What was that?
This one is rated R or whatever, so talk to your parents if you're not old enough or whatnot. But it's just came out. You can watch it on Amazon. You can rent it for like $6 or $7 or whatever. It's called The Dry. It has a weird name. It happens in some foreign country like Australia or something like that, but the accents really aren't that thick and it's easy to watch. It's called The Dry. But apparently like it's like this town that relies on its farms, but they've been going through like a mass like dry season or whatever. No rain has really been coming through, and it's a murder mystery, and like it has great reviews, and it has and people were hyping it up on Twitter, and so I was like, Cassidy, we are watching this movie, and I was kind of like, I don't, the whole movie you're kind of like, and then like everything comes together at the end, and it is great. Like it is 92% Rotten Tomatoes. Like that is really good.
If you're in the Cincinnati area, you can actually see it still at the theater.
Yeah.
The CMX Cinebistro in Liberty Township, non-sponsored.
Non-sponsored.
They are showing it there. It's got a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, Mark. Like that's pretty unheard of.
Yeah. And then yeah, and then like two other movies that are coming out that I want to see are The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. I want to go see that, and then A Quiet Place Part 2. I think The Conjuring comes out June 4th, and I can watch it for free because HBO not sponsored. But yeah,
Not sponsored. We were talking before we jumped on how Hollywood's going back to making video games movies. And I want to see Uncharted. It's supposed to be coming out with Mark Wahlberg. And what's the other guy wearing? I can't
Tom Holland.
Yes.
Tom Holland is playing the younger Nathan Drake.
yeah.
So like that's one I definitely want to see.
Did you guys see the Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I loved it. Mixed reviews, but
You like it? Yeah.
I started to watch it, but yeah, I don't know. Like I was with a bunch of friends, and then we stopped watching it for whatever reason.
I actually enjoyed it. I thought it was okay, but it's like I think it's like a 55%.
Yeah, I better graphics. Storyline could have been stronger, but I think there was like a tease because I know they're signed up for like 4 or 5.
Yeah, I think for me, like some of that stuff was good. Like you were saying, graphically, I thought it was fine. Like in some of the computer effects or whatever. But to have some rando dude beat Goro like pretty quickly into the movie, like
I don't think he should have even been in the movie. I was like, yo, if you're gonna bring him in, like you should have had the tournament started.
Right. And that's so that to me, that was the other one. Like they never had the tournament
at all. It's like a prequel type thing.
Yeah. So hopefully the next one is straight up like tournament fighting. Like I'd be okay if the next movie was like round 1 fight, and all of a sudden there's like a fight going on. Like I'd be good with that.
We did give a little spoiler alert. Sorry, people. If you haven't seen it, sorry.
I mean, you've already seen that if you've even looked up the movie at all, because like it's the first thing that people were complaining about. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of video game movies that have come out over time, and just there's a lot of movies coming back. Cinema's finally like, everything's starting to open up, and there's a lot of really good flicks on the way. Like Cruella comes out, I believe, this weekend with Emma Stone.
Yeah.
What about Space Jam? When's the new Space Jam out? It's like July, right?
July, yeah. I think it's 4th of July weekend or the weekend after, 1 or 2.
Yeah, I mean,
they need to redo Street Fighter.
Real quick before we get too far away from the Mortal Kombat, the one scene where he got his soul sucked, that gave me chills. I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I didn't like that at all. I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I
mean, it's an interesting. The Mortal Kombat movie was interesting to me. I wish it tied in more to what was going on with Mortal Kombat 11, like with the game. Like I would love to see some more tie-ins. If you're gonna do like cinema, like you do theatrical releases that are based on games, like make it somewhat relatable to the one that I can go out and buy right now.
Yeah.
Right, true. And then it's like, spoiler alert, you didn't have Johnny. You didn't have Johnny Cage. You had somebody everybody thought was Johnny Cage, but it wasn't.
Yeah, that's a good topic though, because they're talking about who could possibly play that role in the next movie. Like what actor out there could play that role? I've got a really, really off the wall one that most people hate the idea probably, but who do you think should play that role?
I was thinking a dude from Transporter.
Not Ryan Reynolds, right?
He was in Fast and Furious with The Rock, the spinoff. What's his dude's name? What's the spinoff from Fast and Furious with The Rock and
I didn't watch it. You're saying the guy from Transporter though, like he was in the lead in that movie?
Yeah.
Jason Statham?
Yeah. He would be a good Johnny Cage.
I'm terrible with actors' names, so
yeah, Jason Statham could be okay. I actually would like to see The Miz from the WWE play that role.
That's a good one.
Because I think that he's already got that like arrogance, and that whole Hollywood persona thing. So I think that could be cool. But have you seen any good movies lately, Tay? Anything that
movies. Nah, I think the last movie I actually watched was Mortal Kombat, and rewatched Endgame Avengers. That was it. I've been focusing on getting my defense and everything together on man. I'm trying to qualify for next year.
I knew you would get sucked into that.
Yes,
I knew. So what got you back into trying to do the competitive scene?
What? This what happened. I was at work, and my cousin, he was telling me like, hey, he was trying to beat Miami. Every time he plays Miami, he can't beat them because of the defense. I was like, hey, you got to do your audibles and this and this and this. So the last time we played together, he beat me. It was bad. It was one of my off days, and we played the other day, and I was like, you know what? Everything I was telling him, I need to practice for myself. I switched my audibles up and everything, and when I say I handed him his. Woo, Lord Jesus. I gave it to him. So I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can qualify and get ready for next year. So
yeah, I think that my biggest struggle with the idea of going back to competitive gaming is I want to play so much stuff. Like I just don't want to get sucked into, okay, I got to play Madden tonight, or okay, I got to play FIFA tonight. Like, because those would be the two that I would really get into, like if I went back to play Madden or FIFA competitively. Like, but I want to take time, like Mark was saying earlier, and finish Breath of the Wild eventually. Well, I mean,
have you ever finished the game? Like,
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, like
it's not even a joke how often my Twitch chat bullies me about not finishing a game. I'll buy a new game. They're like, "Why'd you buy it? You're not gonna beat it." I'm just like, "Shut up." I know.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm the same way. I mean,
and then just there'll be like someone who like, well, it's usually always the same person. They know who they are, and I love them to death, and they're hilarious. But they'll come into my chat and they'll be like, beat this game, and I'll be like, or play this game. I'm like, I will eventually, and I'm like,
yeah, right.
Like, it is so bad. Like, I didn't even beat Red Dead 2. I don't even know if a lot of people know that, and even in my stream, I don't even say it on stream because I just know I'm gonna get so much flack as soon as they find out. They'll be like, "What?"
Well,
and like now it's been so long to where if I want to beat it, I just have to restart.
You have to start over, and that's my problem with a lot of those games. But yeah, like if a game's like between 4 and 6 hours, and I know that's short by everybody else's standards, everybody's like, "Oh my god, that was such a short game." That's the perfect length of time for me right now.
Yeah,
because my play time is very, very limited. So when I get a chance, like let's say the kids go to bed at 10, I have to be up at 5 a.m. for work. So like where do I find that time, like where I can play a mature rated game where my 4-year-old isn't coming down going, "Hey dad, what are you doing? Oh, you killing bad guys?" Like I don't need that, right? So like I can maybe get 2 to 3 hours max in a night if I'm sitting down, which is why Pac-Man 99 is the thing right now. Oh,
I ain't seen the dog.
Yeah,
Yeah.
back window. There's
Yeah.
I think there's another smaller dog, Skepcast, checking things out. Everything's fine. June.
It's all good.
That'll wake everybody up. But so Pac-Man, you're saying you can just jump on and hop
Yeah.
off, right? Whenever
So
you want.
like it may be 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Right? Like I can go in and play for a couple minutes and be fine. Like, and that's kind of why like I still love the old 2D Marios. You know,
Gotcha.
I can play a level in like 3 or 4 minutes.
Right.
And then, be done and then kind of go back to something else. Or like just it's hard for me to really sit and play a story driven game for, let's say, 20 hours, or like in the case of Resident Evil. And then y'all know I'm not going to play anything that's scary, but like, how long is that? Like it's like 8 hours, right?
Yeah, like 8
So,
hours.
I mean, it's right on the edge of just being too long for me to like find time to commit to it on a weekend,
Right.
or on a day off. Like I don't have the luxury anymore. And I used to before I was like, the wife and I were outnumbered by the number of kids we have. When we went from playing man defense to zone with the kids, all bets are off. Like,
not just saying you're playing zone with the kid.
Yeah, like we have 3 kids, so all 3 of them are involved in other things in different places. So you're trying to find time to play, and that's why like Pac-Man is awesome, Mario is awesome. Anything with real short levels, like I loved the Rayman games because they have those short side-scrolling levels. I would love to play the Horizon Forbidden West. I'm afraid it's going to be too long. And I know that everybody's going to crucify me for that. Like, they're just going to be like, are you kidding me? Like, you shouldn't be complaining that a game's too long. But if let's say this weekend I can play for 3 hours, I get 3 hours in, but then the following weekend I don't get to play it because I don't have that time, like that chunk of time.
Gotcha.
And then I go in like 2 weeks later and I try to play again for 3 hours. And if I don't remember where I'm at,
yeah, you got to start all over.
Then I got to start it all over again. Like, and that's kind of where I'm at right now.
I definitely feel you on that because, like, when we was talking earlier before we jumped on, like, what does it take to be a professional e-streamer? Like, and one of the first rules they had, I'm looking at it, it says find your motivation, pick your game, join the community, have the right equipment, practice, climb the ladder, find a team, compete and get noticed, and stay balanced. Live like a pro. So it's like, what is your motivation? Like, my motivation is, well, it took me a long time to get my motivation back playing video games. Yeah, because like, I think before my daughter moved back here, I probably played like maybe 4 or 5 hours out of the day. Now I'll be lucky if I get an hour and a half at night.
Right.
So I get it. Nice.
Yeah, and Mark, you played CS:GO fairly competitively, right? Like, what did that look like for you?
I mean, not beyond, like, just, like, I would play with a team, but it was all through their, like, online multiplayer. So, and I would play Face It, which is essentially just, like a third party, like, finding, like, other people to compete against. It's, like, considered a little higher level or whatever. For me, I mean, it's just playing. It's just playing, watching, just like making sure you're in the right headspace to learn, because if you're just getting frustrated in the game, you're not going to realize what you're doing wrong, for one. But the number one is play. And number two is knowing that if you just only play, you probably won't get better. It kind of goes to that watching thing. Like you could, like I would go and watch YouTube videos and be like, okay, if you stand in this spot, look at this, and then turn this way and look at that, and then jump, throw a smoke, it'll land here. And it's like learning all of those, and then being like teaching other people and being like, okay, and then like forming plans. Like, okay, we're gonna go to A site. I got window smoke. All right, I got CT smoke. I got stair smoke, and like, all right, everybody throw at 35, which means when the game clock hits a minute 35, everyone jumps and throw their smokes, and next thing you know, the enemy just sees all smoke screens, and you move in, stuff like that. But that's with like an aim kind of like thing too, is why you need to play so heavy, like doing a lot of aim training, stuff like that.
Right.
Um, I used to get pretty hard into the Fortnite stuff too. And that was just playing and playing against higher competitions, like another way to learn really well, playing better people. Um, and then yeah, I mean, I never got too much into Madden, but so for me to be at least competitive in anything like that, I would have to first start with like learning. It's like I don't even know how to call an audible, like honestly.
I got you on that one. I can take you through a 1 day Madden training.
Alrighty. But yeah, I think the biggest thing is just coming down to practicing. But I think also some people practice too much, where then you start making mistakes, then you don't realize you're doing them, and then you're doing them all the time. I've seen some of that.
Yeah.
But
I put a comment on the YouTube, Tay for Madden Champ, just to make sure our chat's working. Guys, if you're watching the show live, you can pop into chat on Twitch, on YouTube,
Facebook.
or on Facebook, and your chat will pop up. All you have to do is throw your chat in, and we'll have the comments there, and we can talk about what you want to chat about. So, Tay for Madden Champ, he's got the no pressure, Tay, but you gotta step it up.
I do. I definitely do. And what's crazy is like I miss playing in person tournaments because
Right.
that takes your competitiveness to a whole different level. And just hearing somebody on the headset talking trash, and then mama getting on their nerves in the background, telling them to come wash the dishes or something like that. No, let me sit right next to you. Let me sit right next to you. So I can really get in your head. So I really missed that, and hopefully we can get back to that.
Yeah, and there's
soon.
some esports arenas that are opening up and kind of getting back to it. The Bendix Arena up in South Bend actually posted today on Facebook that they're looking to put some in-person events together and wanting to know what people want to play. And they've put up plexiglass between each station, so they're still like kind of, have those COVID protocols in place.
Right.
And you have to wear a mask while you're playing there, which is fine. But just trying to get people back to playing. I think the big thing for me is just in-person events are gonna eventually take back off, and then we'll see some new stuff come out pretty quick, I think.
Now I got a question. I know I'm probably gonna get a whole lot of backlash for this. Are most esports arenas just PCs? Because I've only seen 2 with consoles.
Probably nowadays, but back in the day, it was probably mostly consoles, and just like
Yeah, I
it
mean, when I
depends on the
played
game.
when I was playing FIFA competitively, it was all on console.
Okay.
But actually, I would say even now, like the MLS, like the EMLS is console based. They have a PlayStation division and an Xbox division. They're not playing that on PC at all.
It depends on a couple of things. Like the game, the level of competition you're in, like, if you're playing in like a local LAN versus a giant event, and then at the same time also sponsors. So, if Xbox sponsors and the MLS or PlayStation or both, you know what I mean, then, that's gonna affect it as well.
Yeah.
Now obviously PC games is only gonna be on PC. But I mean, if you wanted to, you could plug in a controller to the PC and then your own controller.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my thing when I get on PC to have a controller until I get used to a keyboard.
What?
Yeah.
So what would you be your first game, your first 3 games that you'd buy on PC?
My first 3 games, to be truthfully honest, my first game I actually bought on PC, and even though I don't have mine yet, was
Grand Theft Auto.
Yep, yes, it was.
I'm like,
Yes,
we
it
already know.
was.
We know what it is. It's Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, Grand Theft Auto, Age of Empires, and I bought The Sims because I used to like playing The Sims all the time.
You know, friend of the show, Chris Brown from Game Day. He's been playing on the Game Day stream. He's been playing Total War Rome. I've totally been digging watching him play that. That may be one that I jump into, since it's just a different type of game,
Right.
And I used to love that stuff. Any of those RTSs on PC, and since Tay brought one up, like that's kind of where
And
I think I
Prison
should. Prison Tycoon.
That game actually was pretty good.
My oldest played a lot of it.
I always like those kind of games.
Yeah, I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon a lot
back
in the day. The funny thing is I don't like roller coasters at all. I know that's another thing that knocks me down a peg. I know, Tay, but they make me really, really sick. But I always loved that game because you can create a roller coaster and then you'd see people puke when they got off of it. And I was like, that's my life if I go on that.
You gotta hire cleaners and stuff.
Yeah. And so you had to hire janitorial staff to monitor the walkway after people would get off the ride. I always think those kind of games are fun. City Skylines, I really like those.
Right.
But yeah, what do you play you play pretty much everything, but what's your main game, Mark, that you would say that you like to play on PC? The style or the genre, I guess.
Oh, FPS.
Just FPS.
Yeah, I mean, it's just because going from loving FPSs on a controller and then holding a mouse, it's just I don't know, I feel unstoppable. Sometimes, I swear, especially on games that I remember, what was it? I think it was Call of Duty. It might have been Call of Duty. It was a game that allowed cross-platform between PC and console. It was kind of early in the stage where it wasn't PC against PC all the time. So
yeah, I think it was Call of Duty.
Yeah, and I was on PC and my friends were on console, and I would just destroy because everyone we played against was mainly console. I almost felt bad, but yeah, it's
How do you feel bad with Call of Duty now?
I mean, looking back on it, I guess I don't. But there's probably someone on there who's really young and they're just trying to play. But speaking of which, now I don't. This is we're going down a rabbit hole, but that's totally fine. How do you guys feel about skill-based matchmaking in non-ranked game mode? You agree with it? Disagree with it?
I agree with it. I agree with it because especially in Madden, they actually match you up with your skills, and
I don't want to play somebody who's just going to roll me.
Yeah, no,
and vice versa. The other side, I don't want to roll somebody.
Yeah.
FIFA on the weekend, the weekend leagues on FIFA, I very rarely qualify anymore because I just don't have the time to play it. But when this past year, the first time I qualified for weekend league, I got matched up with a couple people that as soon as I logged in the game and saw their lineup, when they started introducing who their players were, I was like, oh no, this is not going to end well. And so in addition to them having a completely stacked roster on their ultimate team, they were also very, very good.
Right.
So I would love to have and I like it with the way Rocket League is set up in the, how they have the different tiers where you kind of work your way up. Like I think that's a great way to do it.
Like in the ranked
But
mode?
in the ranked mode, I would love for them
Well,
to
I'm
do it in
talking, like,
casual. Like if they
yeah.
if they matched you up with somebody that was closer, because
I think they somewhat do. I'm told that, but I don't know if that's 100% true.
yeah, I don't know for sure, but I'd be okay with it in casual too.
Yeah. I mean, here's my take on it, and I totally understand it, but on the flip side, it like so let's say Call of Duty or like any Rocket League, for instance. If I just want to play casually, I just want to sit back, relax, late at night or whatever. I just want to play a couple games. If I hop on and I click, quick play or casual or whatever,
Right.
in Call of Duty right now, I will play people who are trying their butts off. And it's like, I'm just trying to chill. It's like, if I want to try really hard on any game, I will go to the rank side because then I'm at least working for something. Like I'm putting all that effort in to at least rank up or something.
right.
So
Right.
like if I want to be that sweaty and I want to try really hard, I'll go to ranked. Then if I go to casual and it's just as sweaty and stuff, like it's honestly why I stopped playing the most recent COD because I was just like, I am just tired of always hopping on and have to be like full dead sprint, just running running the engine as fast as I can. It's just so I think it's interesting.
So interesting comment in the chat. My favorite game back in the day was Carmageddon and Need for Speed, all of them. Tay, you love the Need for Speed games, right?
Hey, hold on.
You're-
You know I have trouble. You know I have trouble doing the.
Yeah, which side you're on?
Yeah. So yeah, you see, I got my wheel still up. My steering wheel still up. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Need for Speed and Gran Turismo. And what was the other one? Other racing game they had. It was like real realistic. I forgot the name of it. But like but Need for Speed, I think that would be my number 2.
Yeah, the Need for Speed Hot Pursuit. I just bought that. What we were talking about it about a month or so ago, right? I got it on Switch.
Yeah.
And I've had it. I had it on PlayStation and Xbox. I think that's one of the games that's one of my favorite racers of all time. So, like, I like the idea of the cops, like the police chases and stuff, like where you can be the police officer or you can be the guy trying to get away. That's actually my favorite part about GTA as well. But like, if I could go without the gun play in GTA, I would probably really enjoy it a lot more.
That's what makes.
Yeah,
I know.
It's just one of those things. Like if I could avoid the gunplay in general, I would like it.
I played that Sumo on PC.
Yeah,
I like how they said they put the dates of 97 and 98. That sounded like cash money for the 99 and 2000.
right. Yeah, it's like 97. Mark, how old were you in 1997?
Depends on what month.
yeah, that is true. I graduated from high school.
Before August, I didn't exist.
Yeah, so I graduated from high school in 98. You were a baby. Yeah, so
crazy.
Tay's not going to tell anybody when he graduated from high school.
It was before those 2 dates. I think no. Actually, I was a freshman at Antonelli Art College for those who were in Cincinnati.
Yeah. But yeah, that's. I mean, like when you start getting into things like what did you play back in the day? All the Need for Speeds back in the day were really good.
Yes, very.
Yeah, I love those games. I still play them every so often. We've talked about that on previous episodes. Yeah, so that was on sale recently.
The Heat, yeah,
the Heat. I actually really like that one too. I don't like how they started the story off in that game, but
I can't stand the night mode.
Yeah, you struggle with it. Is it the light and how it adjusts, or like?
Yeah, it's the adjusting the lights. Especially like if you're driving through downtown,
yeah. There's a couple of those like where it looks like you need to turn because the way the lights are, and it looks like it's directing you to turn. And the next thing you know, you hit a building. You're like, nope, it didn't want me to turn there.
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's pretty dope.
Yeah, that's a good one. All right, fellas, we move. Hopefully, people are still able to check in with us on Twitch. I know Game Day tweeted it out that we were up running late on Twitch. Not sure what happened there,
can't
but
get it pulled up.
really,
I don't know what's going on my end.
yeah.
I've been
Well,
refreshing throughout the whole podcast, and I cannot get it up.
yeah. I mean, it was up and going there, and it's down again. So who knows what's causing the
connection interruption?
Right? It wouldn't be. It's showing that they're hosting again too. So
yeah, I mean, usually the host is
usually the host. Yeah,
away,
but maybe that's creating the issue. Might be something funky there, but we appreciate those of you that hopped on and caught us on YouTube. It's always a good time when we get together. So we are trying to track down some guests for our next show.
Oh yes. We
have a long guest list of people that we want to try to bring in. We reached out to Team Frisch. So from our sponsor, Frisch's Big Boy, they have jumped into the esports space. We're looking to possibly get them on. We want to thank NKU again for coming on the last show 2 weeks ago. And we have some other esports teams in the area that we're trying to reach out to bring them in as well. So, I mean, hopefully, fingers crossed, the next show in 2 weeks, we don't have any technical issues and don't get bumped on Twitch, but we'll definitely, I'll retweet out the link to the YouTube and everything so people can hop in and check us out there. You guys have anything else tonight, or are we?
Nah, before we leave, want a big shout out to my people up top. Shout out to my homie Court checking in. And of course, the kids are always checking us out. So
yeah.
And shout out to Game Day and Frisch's for having us back.
Yep.
And we should
Sliders,
be back
baby.
In June 9th?
Yep. June 9th is our next broadcast. Are you gonna get that tartar sauce tattoo, Mark?
Oh,
was that you that suggested the tartar sauce tattoo to the big boy for the?
I don't remember that, but I did talk a lot about tartar sauce on the King's Hammer stream, so that might have popped up.
So
I've definitely talked about a bathtub filled with tartar sauce, but
Frisch just tweeted out something the other day that if Big Boy could have a tattoo, what would you make the tattoo? And I sent them the Connection Interruption logo.
Gotcha.
So that would be dope. Yeah, so that would be a cool one. But we really appreciate our sponsors, Frisch's Game Day, Hannah and Shonda at Game Day, always keeping us on check. Shay, here's looking at you. We're waiting for our photo shoot pictures. I'll call you out here on the podcast. Hey, they're dope. Straight up. Let's be real. That entire photo shoot that we did, you guys anybody who watches the show is going to love it. There's some really good stuff on there. Hopefully they turn out all right. But we had
spam them on the socials.
Right. Yeah. We had a lot of fun with the photo shoot. So I'm sure it will be a good time once they release, because they're going to be crazy, I'm sure. Also, Game Day has an event coming up this coming weekend.
Yes. COD, Call of Duty, Black Ops, Cold War. So make sure you go what's that, Battlefy?
Yep, battlefy.com, Game Day-esports.
Sports.
Frisch's and Game Day putting that together. It's 4v4. Best of 5, I believe, was what I was reading earlier. But that should be a pretty fun event. So if you have some free time this Memorial Day weekend, be sure to check that out. Again, I'll put it up on the screen one more time for you to take a look with slow-mo. Get it up there for a little while longer. Battlefy.com/gameday-esports. Again, that one's brought to you by Game Day and Frisch's. Be sure to head over and check that event out. It should be a lot of fun. The latest Rocket League tournament that was put on for King's Hammer that Frisch's was a part of was awesome this past weekend as well. So This one should go off and be hot. So,
and for those that like to eat while they're gaming or the tournament, get the sliders.
Right?
Sliders, onion rings,
Sliders.
cherry coke.
No
That's
French
it.
fries.
Nah, bro, we hit the onion rings hard.
Onion rings, man.
I'm a French fry.
Hey, because you know that's
Mhm.
So you got to dip fries. So you know the onion rings, you can just pop them in your mouth. Sliders, 2-3 bites, and do your fingers like this, and
French fries all the way. Not a
French
chance.
fries. All right. So that's gonna wrap it up for us tonight. Be sure to join us on the next show. Oh, bad boy sliders are the bomb. See, look at that. Yeah, gotta go with the sliders.
We have an official cosign.
That's it. But be sure to join us for the next show on the 9th of June. We'll also have some additional content out throughout the next week. Some new stuff rolling on social media. Mark and Tay will be picking up some of the social media posts and things throughout the next couple weeks to kind of give me a little bit of a break there on social. Hey, somebody like that way you guys can get some new content out there. I'm sure people are tired of seeing my SpongeBob tweets at this point because I rolled that SpongeBob pretty hard.
Hey,
I did it on Instagram again today too. So
I love SpongeBob.
Yeah, I had somebody reach out and was like, "Do you really like SpongeBob?" And I'm like, "Actually, it's kind of funny because I don't, but I think that the cartoon is kind of interesting. Like the character,
amazing.
The character himself, I think is really funny because I wish I could just perpetually be that happy. That's one of those things like about that character that I love. Like I would love for my life to just be so carefree that I'm like SpongeBob, where everything is super cool. So, but Tay and Mark are gonna take away the SpongeBob from me for a little bit on social.
Yeah, your SpongeBob duties has been revoked.
So we look forward to seeing you guys on the next show, and hopefully we will have a guest announcement for you within the next week for the next show in 2 weeks. So be sure to keep an eye out on social media for that. You can follow us at CONINT pod on Instagram and on Twitter.
Yep.
And Tay, where can they find you?
At DJ Tay Boogie on all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, Twitch. I can't think of any social media platform, but straight across the board.
Mine's right here. It's Swing Live on Twitter. You'll get you everywhere else.
Yeah. And I am pulling a Tay. I'm touched artist.
What?
I went the wrong way.
Wrong hand.
This way. All right, right here. See that right there. I am at touched artist on all forms of social media. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter for the show, CONINT pod. And you can also find us on Facebook at the same place. The show is live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch every other Wednesday. And we will have additional content throughout the next week. So hopefully everybody has a great 2 weeks before we see you again for a full episode. But we will see you soon, and have a great night, everybody.
Bye.